can you speak about this one?
Yeah, definitely. It was an important game for us. We had to make sure that we got the 2 points because otherwise there could have been a bit of a gap between us and the fourth place side. So it was important that we won this game. We came in with clear plans and I feel we executed that pretty well.
One more thing, 5 wins in a row away from home, so it's like you're doing well on the travel. So what is the mantra to that success?
To be honest, I think it's just coincidence that our wins have come away from home, but at the same time we have played some really good cricket throughout the tournament. I feel we have really gelled well as a unit, and that shows, we each time we suffer a loss we are immediately back up and we're winning games after that. So it's important that now we continue this momentum and really find a way to win at home as well, because of course that's really an important part, and the Chinnaswamy deserves to see some wins.
Yes, can we have the next question?
मैं दीपक शर्मा स्पोर्ट्स मंथली मैगजीन से अवे गेम्स में आपका बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है आरसीबी का, पर होम गेम्स में क्या कमी आपको महसूस हो रही है? क्या रणनीति में कमी है या फिर पिच आपके अनुकूल नहीं मिल पा रही है? उस पे क्या कहना चाहिए?
I don't think there's anything to do with the pitch, to be honest. It's important that as a batting unit we read the pitch quick enough. I feel that's somewhere that we have not really done as well as possible, to be honest. We have not been up to the mark, but that's part of the tournament that IPL is. It's always has challenges, and this is a challenge that for us as a team it's important that we find a way, and definitely we have some really experienced and talented cricketers in the side. I'm sure we'll put our heads together and come up with a plan for the next home game.
Can you please explain what's special in your today game?
Nothing really special, to be honest. I've been batting pretty well this season. I've enjoyed my batting. That's the most important part. Over the last year or so, I've really worked hard on getting to where I am in T20 cricket. Obviously, the previous couple of years wasn't ideal. It wasn't great. I wasn't up to the mark, and I was the first one to take responsibility for that. And once you take that responsibility and understand that you weren't good enough, I think that's where you can then start getting better. And that's all that it took, to be honest. I had to just go back to the drawing board and really work on myself.
And you talked about that this season you have been doing great and did have a good year last time. What are the things you worked on?
Yeah, definitely. With DK and Andy, the last 2-3 months before the IPL have been really important for me. Not just technically we have made some changes, but also tactically the knowledge that they have, the understanding of how bowlers think, and that kind of knowledge and that little bit of extra edge that it gives you was something really important for me coming into the season. It's helped me plan my innings a lot better, and I feel in the IPL it's very important that you have clarity in your head once you go out there to bat, because everything is very fast paced. So I feel DK and Andy have really helped me getting that structure and clarity in my batting.
हाँ सर, आपका सवाल.
घर से बाहर का सफर अभी तक आपका बहुत अच्छा रहा इस सीजन में, और जिस तरह आपने परफॉर्म किया है, जैसे कोलकाता में किया, मुंबई में किया, उसके बाद चंडीगढ़ में आज, तो बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद. तो मेरा सवाल आपसे है, क्या इस बात से एग्री करते हैं कि राशिद सलाम का एक और चांस बनता है अपने 11 में, क्योंकि यंग टैलेंट है?
Definitely, he's played a couple of games. Obviously, that's not enough of a sample size for players to show their talent, but I'm sure there's a long tournament and everyone in the side is really important. It's not just the 11 that is playing. The 15, 16, 22 guys, how many ever there is in the squad, everyone is important. And I'm sure at some point Rasik will come into the side as well, and he'll be really helpful for us as well.
We'll do one last question. Yes. Devdutt, talk us about Virat. Did he make it easy for you while you were chasing? Because he's someone who is like cool as a cucumber. So what about Virat?
Yeah, definitely. When you have someone who's so experienced and calm under these circumstances, it makes your job very easy, because he knows how to lead the team to victory, and that's really important when you're chasing down scores, because it's very easy to get carried away in certain situations and think that you can keep going, but he understands when to take his foot off the gas and then when to press on it. And when you have that kind of calculation and that kind of tactical knowledge during a chase, it makes the job for the other batsman very easy.
Thank you for your question.
No, not at all. I mean, they had to play the same games, right? So someone had to win, someone had to lose tonight. We didn't bat well enough. That's the bottom line in this game. I think the wicket was a whole lot better than 157. We had a lot of batsmen make starts, not go on and make those big scores, and that's crucial in T20 cricket, especially guys at the top of the order. And that's the difference. Virat bats through tonight, sees his team home, and we weren't good enough to capitalise on a good start. I think at the end of the power play we were 1 for 62, pretty much where you want the game to be. So straight away there you're looking at a score at 180 plus, even pushing on to 200 your middle order bat well, but we lost wickets in clumps again tonight, which is not the first time in the tournament. I thought their spinners bowled well, and their death bowling was exceptional at the end. You know, Boovy and Hazelwood, the 4 overs that they bowled at the end, you know, we were still looking at the second time out. We still thought we could get to near 180, but their death bowling was too good, and we struggled to 157. You know, unlike the last game here, where we dragged a win from nowhere, we weren't good enough to do that tonight.
Ricky, one more thing. Your team has been struggling in the middle order, especially in the last 2 games. You did not play on in one of the previous games against CSK as well, and now here. So, Shreyas Iyer, for example, is his batting form a concern for you?
No, his form's not a concern. His form right through the tournament has been brilliant. You know, he's probably, what is he, in the top 3 or 4 run scorers in the IPL right now. He hasn't done as well as he would have liked at this venue. He said that to me when he got out today. He came and sat next to me and he said, I don't know what it is about this ground. So obviously that was our last game here tonight, so we're away from that now. We've got a nice little break. We've got about a 6-day break now, which, you know, on the back of, I think, 3 games in about 5 days. The boys need that little bit of a freshen up, time to get away, forget about this result, and make sure we focus on our next challenge, which is KKR down there, which we know will be a big game for us.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nikhil from ESPN Cricket Pro. Is that pitch difficult to play in first inning?
Look, I think it was a consistent pitch today. You know, one thing we know about it, it doesn't offer a lot of pace and it doesn't offer a lot of bounce, and we talk about that. And to be honest, the 4 games we've played here, each wicket's been slightly different, so it just takes you a little bit of time to adjust. You know, that being said, when we batted first today, you know, at the end of the power play, I was pretty comfortable at 1 for 62, and we expected that the wicket would slow down a bit through the middle of the innings, but the fact that we just lost wickets consistently, we had a run out there as well, which never helps. So our middle order, you know, the openers went pretty quickly together, and then Shreyas on the back of that, and that, you know, all the momentum is lost then, and then you need to put some partnerships back together to give yourself a good enough score. And you know, we were a chance there after I think 16 overs. As I said, we were hoping to get around 180, which I think would have been a very good score. Looking at that chase, it wasn't an easy chase, but we weren't good enough to do it. So well done to them.
So coach, you have also practiced like in Dharamshala as well before the start of the season. So you will be now playing your home game over there. So how are you rating that ground, and considering the team's performance, what are you expecting, you know, over there?
First and foremost, it's a beautiful place to play. We had I think a 4 or 5 day training camp up there right at the start of the tournament to get all our players up there to get some time on those wickets and get to understand the conditions up there rather than just doing all our preparation here. Look, normally there it's a good wicket. It normally comes onto the bat nicely. There's normally a bit more pace and bounce than what you see out here, and I think that'll actually suit our team. You think a lot of our batsmen in our team probably like the ball coming onto the bat. We should get that in Dharamshala. It's not a big ground, so what can we expect? I think we can expect pretty high scoring games, to be honest. So yeah, we obviously go to Calcutta first, then Chennai, and then the games up in Dharamshala. We've got 3 games in a row there, and then finish off in Jaipur. So look, it's been we're past the halfway mark now. You know, we've got the 5 wins that we need to push on and make sure that we win a fair share of our games coming home.
Last 2 questions.
Can you talk about the disadvantages or advantages of having 2 different home venues?
I might be able to tell you at the end of the tournament, because if we go up there and win every game, I'll think it's great. If we go there and lose every game, then I won't like it much at all. But look, it's not uncommon. There are other teams in the tournament that are doing it. You know, Delhi obviously had a couple in Vizag, Rajasthan play a couple away. It is what it is. It's a little bit different this year for us. Normally it's been just the 2 games in Dharamshala. This year it's 3. I think gives us about 11 days in a row there. So there shouldn't be any excuses from us. We've got to make sure that is a home ground and a ground that we win games on. So I'm looking forward to getting up there actually.